Interview with Billy from 1988. Introduction. UFO contact person, Billy Meier, is often attacked by uninformed people who do not have the slightest knowledge of Billy's comprehensive contacts and his mission, and all the details. They have never even met Billy in person. This is proven also by the fact that Billy's real and full name, namely Edward Albert Meier Zafiriou, as a rule, is only familiar to a handful of co-workers, some acquaintances, and the members of FIGU Gemeinschaft für Grenz- und Geisteswissenschaften und Ufologie studieren. Even fewer people know how Edward Albert Meier Zafiriou got the name Billy, or that his name was marked down 10,000 years ago in documents which were preserved, handed down, and still exist now on Earth. The name Billy is not only used by the public all over the world and by Billy's closest associates, but also, generally, by the extraterrestrials. Uninformed critics and untrustworthy people who feel Billy's contacts and missions are impossible, discredit and accuse him of being a charlatan or worse, and try to ridicule him. However, generally speaking, they are ill-informed on the issues and contexts and, therefore, are in no position to pass any realistic and competent judgment on the mission, the contacts, or Billy's person. In order to do so in a factual and realistic manner, one has to deal with these matters for many years in a serious, intensive, and honest way to get to know the pertinent and multifaceted information, to study intensely the facts, and to get to know Billy. As a rule, this has been the case with only a few closely associated individuals, as well as several outsiders who publicly announced their positive feelings toward Billy Meier and his contacts. In honest lectures, seminars, radio and TV programs, in films, newspapers, and magazines, the Billy Meier case is called unique within knowledgeable circles. There is probably no other case as richly documented by witnesses' testimonies and material as this one, even though none of the witnesses has ever had personal contact with extraterrestrials. This privilege was granted exclusively to Billy by the extraterrestrials who came from the planetara and the open star cluster of the Pleiades. They have never conducted personal conversations or conscious telepathy with any other person. It is noteworthy that the witnesses agree to having heard, seen, and experienced inexplicable phenomena, which only could have taken place through Billy's contacts. Those and their witnesses by no means consist solely of Billy's friends and co-workers, but also consist of completely unrelated persons. For example, spectators who took part in a rock music festival in 1975 on nearby Bachtel Mountain at Ozone, near Wetzikon in the cantons Erich, from where they witnessed nocturnal beam-ship demonstrations, etc. Previous members of Billy's group, which has loosely existed since 1975, have to admit that they had phenomenal experiences regarding UFOs and deaths. Billy did not strive for these contacts with extraterrestrials. On the contrary, he was sought out by the Pleiadians because of an ancient mission from thousands of years ago. Furthermore, it has been shown that Billy did not agree to these contacts for financial gain, publicity, or personal fame, which can be evidenced by his withdrawn lifestyle. The contacts with the Pleiadians also did not take place for his own pleasure because, behind all of these events, there looms a huge mission which must be fulfilled by many people. In connection with the mission, many texts have been written, partially transmitted by the Pleiadians or even higher spiritual forms. Some were written by Billy himself at the request of the Pleiadians. Billy's enemies know nothing of the existence and source of these texts, all of which can be obtained from FIGU, Switzerland, in the German language, including the contact notes and the latest publication, the OM. Many years of experience with all types of people have shown that those who try to discriminate against Billy and question everything are obviously envious, pseudoscientists, sectarians, fanatics, schizophrenics, or simply slanderers. In particular, they seem to be people who, because of some strange opinions concerning the rest of the world, politics, or religions, cannot bear the truth that may differ from their own beliefs. They are willing to suppress the truth with the aid of mean, dishonest methods, and to extinguish it, if possible, even if it means going over dead bodies, tarnishing and destroying the reputation of another human being. Billy Meier interview, November 20, 1988. When I, Billy Meier, am supposed to give an answer and explanation regarding the Pleiadians, their life, philosophy, lifestyle, and mission, it is impossible not to mention creation, its laws and commandments, as well as the ancestors of the Pleiadians, the old Pleiadians and Vegans. In addition, I also would like to mention Earth humans of olden days and modern times who had been influenced by the Pleiadians, which would include myself specifically, my spirit form. I am inseparably united and tied in with ancient and contemporary Earth human beings, Pleiadians, Vegans, Pleiadians, and the spirit level Arhat Athersada, as an energy, middleman, and messenger. I cannot give the answers and explanations in a brief, banal, superficial, meaningless, ludicrous, wooden, and colorless way as would be the case with allegedly blessed, enlightened people, channelers, apostles, God/Jesus/angel messengers, predestined few, clairvoyants, as well as seers and revelators by their own grace. 99.97% of the messages of these would-be contact persons are fraudulent, full of lies and deceit, schizophrenic or similar. Only 203 of 1 million of the relevant remarks are the truth, despite the fact that these people maintain having had contact with extraterrestrial life forms or higher spirit forms, with others in the beyond, indeed, with saints, Jesus Christ or other spirit forms. They disseminate all these meaningless, false, banal, and misleading so-called messages, prophecies, threats, and unbelievable stories to their sheepish and misled faithful. The mission of the Pleiadians, Pleiadians, and Vegans with me as the messenger and herald, in relationship to the earth beings and the all-encompassing creation with its laws and commandments, entails a horrendous knowledge of spiritual and material form. It simply cannot be pulled out of its basic context and told in a trivial manner, and especially without explanation. This knowledge of the entire mission and history involving the Pleiadians, Pleiadians, and Vegans, earth beings and my spirit form, as well as creation, etc., is so solid and extensive that each individual question can often only be answered in connection with other questions. If these are not answered thoroughly, invariably there will occur misunderstandings, false impressions, errors, and chaos which would be detrimental, contradictory, destructive, and misleading to the truth. First question: ozone holes, climatic catastrophes, earthquakes, hurricanes, AIDS,